Now we good. We good. It was froze. Yeah, it was froze for a minute. Salakia on that. I don't know what just happened, but it was froze. But I'm Priest and Officer at the Walker Bar. We're going to be going into the fact that the things that people pray about or they want, the Lord doesn't care about those things. And also some current events. Of course, today, woman got unalived by ICE today, shot. A white woman, I just found out, was a white woman that got murdered by a white ICE agent, which is crazy, right? Because white people they put all that blame of violence and being criminals on black and brown people, whereas ICE is just about to create a civil war with them having this feeling that they can just unalive people and get away with it. This immunity, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna play the video, but if we could just go over an article, I bought it. We could, and then go ahead. Do we have? You got a microphone? Okay.
Yeah. Now they can be like, oh, see, I got gunned down by ICE too.
That's a good point. Jeremiah's bringing out is now they can say it ain't just brown people that are suffered at the hands of ICE. We white people it doesn't matter who. So we should all be together. We should hold hands together in defense and fight Trump and fight ICE and fight these criminals. That's a good point. That's a good point. You got something? Let me hear it.
This is from CBS News. Woman fatally shot by ICE officer in Minneapolis. Identified Governor Walz demands investigation. It says an ICE officer fatally shot a woman Wednesday morning in South Minneapolis, according to the Department of Homeland Security. The shooting happened at East 34th Street on Portland Avenue, where federal and local law enforcement have clashed for hours with protesters. What to know about Minneapolis ICE shooting? The victim has been identified by a U.S. official, 37-year-old Renee Good. According to two federal sources, she was a U.S. citizen. City leaders said she was a legal observer of federal actions in the city and wasn't a target for an ICE-related arrest. A witness tells...
It says she wasn't a target?
She wasn't a target.
She wasn't a target. Go ahead. And this is I'll get to it. Go ahead. Keep going.
Witnesses tell WCCO that whistles sounded to alert neighborhood of ICE's presence at about 9:30 a.m. Witnesses say they saw a Honda Pilot blocked by multiple federal agents, and an agent tried to open the driver's side door. The motorist then put her vehicle into reverse, then into drive. Witnesses said they then heard 3 shots fired. The Honda traveled another several feet before crashing into another vehicle.
If you could you get me what Donald Trump, let me see if I can find, so I can put it on the screen, but can you get Donald Trump's, what he tweeted out over seeing the video? Let's see. I found it. Let me just...
So like it.
Uh-huh.
Was it the White House will continue to monitor the situation that we said?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Where is that what he said at the end?
Yeah, come on.
Okay, let me go ahead and read it.
Come on. It says
now listen to what Donald Trump said.
Oh, dang, so I don't got that one.
It's a let me see if I can find it again. So I'm gonna send it to you. All right, I just sent it to you.
Okay, got it. Come on. So Donald Trump said, "I have just viewed the clip of the event which took place in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It is a horrible thing to watch. The woman screaming was obviously a professional agitator, and the woman driving the car was very disorderly, obstructing and resisting, who then violently, willfully, and viciously ran over the ICE officer."
Donald Trump, if you see the video, the woman didn't run over an ICE agent. Donald Trump is blaming the dead woman for getting killed. You understand? By for getting shot 3 times in the face.
Right.
He said she was a professional agitator. He said she was a professional agitator. You can't just be somebody out there that's protesting ICE. You a professional, right? Then he said she was very disorderly, obstructing and resisting, who then violently and willfully and viciously ran over the ICE agent. And it goes on to say, who seems to have shot her in self-defense. Donald Trump is praising the ICE agent for doing his job and saying the woman she was a deranged woman that was bent on being violent and a professional agitator. Keep going.
Who seems to have shot her in self-defense. Based on the attached clip, it is hard to believe he is alive, but is now recovering in the hospital.
He said it is hard to believe the ICE agent is alive. The ICE agent who put 3 bullets in the woman's face and got in front of this is their terminology, but this is very low IQ to stand in front of a vehicle that you know is moving and then turn around and say, well, she was trying to run him over. He wasn't even in front of the vehicle. Go ahead.
Like if he was so viciously and horribly hurt, how could he have possibly stood to shoot that woman in the face?
Exactly.
If he was that hurt,
exactly.
Donald Trump is describing it, how could he possibly pulled his firearm out, stood up, and aimed at this woman's face?
And so what this is going to do is this is going to enrage Americans, white Americans, because this was a white woman that this happened to. But once again, the low IQ of white people will say, well, this is a Democrat and Republican issue. Instead of just calling out evil and saying that, listen, white people are evil. White people are deranged. You know what I mean? It's out of hand with what they did. That was uncalled for, right? If I'm standing in front of, it'll never be me, but if you're in an altercation with someone and they are in a vehicle, a motor vehicle, a machine, an engine that weighs 3,500 pounds that could crush you or break your ankle, break your leg, are you going to stand in front of it while they're starting to roll away?
Right.
Are you going to put yourself in front of a vehicle while they're starting to roll away? No, you're not. It doesn't make any sense. But when you are a white man who has no self-esteem, and anybody who doesn't, follow your directions, it angers you. You're going to you have a gun. You're going to exercise your authority in that. You're going to do what you go and shoot at the range for.
Right.
You're going to let off some steam simply because someone doesn't listen to you. Go ahead, Abba.
So, if I may, what would have been a smart thing to do if she was trying to get away was to shoot her tires off. That would be the thing. Vicious they are.
Yeah, that would be the thing. That would be the thing, is to flatten your tires. You know what I mean? That's what I used to think when I was young. I used to think about police officers. I used to think, well, why? There was a time when police officers would, a suspect is running away, they throw a baton at his legs. They shoot him in the legs.
Right.
He lives. He goes to jail. You know what I mean? But it's not the extreme.
Right.
Then it got to a point where people are running from the police. They shoot them in the back. They kill them. They shoot 30 bullets when it's just overkill. It's uncalled for and it's overkill. Situation like this, shoot the tires out. I mean, it was in a road where it was a lot of obstruction, a lot of snow. She couldn't just turn around right away anyway because there's other vehicles. You know what I mean? And they could have caught up with her and apprehended her later. But they shot her 3 times in the face. That's trigger happy. Because on the video, it don't even sound like it's 3 shots. It sounds like it's like one, maybe two. You know what I mean? But keep reading. Let's finish this off.
Come on. It says, it's hard to believe he is alive, but is now recovering in the hospital. The situation is being studied in its entirety.
Said the situation is being studied in its entirety. It's nothing to study. It's all on video from different angles.
Right.
Go ahead.
But the reason these incidents are happening is because the radical left is threatening, assaulting, and targeting our law enforcement officers and ICE agents on a daily basis.
There we go again. That's Donald Trump, like a big child, a big kid. He's blaming it on the radical left. And if you really look at white people, anytime, even when we say something about the history, they say, "Oh, that's a left talking point," or you're the left. You're a Democrat. It's almost like they can't think outside of the box anymore. It's like it's either you're a Republican or a Democrat, depending on your stance on certain issues.
Right.
And here's Donald Trump saying that the radical left, when the family that the shooter that popped Charlie Kirk, he came from a conservative family.
Right.
I mean, evil is evil. I thought evil was evil. I thought, violence is violence. I didn't know that violence, depending on who said what in their stance, that's who, we would account it to. Violence is supposed to be violent. I mean, if you're a violent white man, a violent black man, a violent Asian man, it's violence to me.
Right.
It's the same to me. If you are a devil that the Bible speaks of, hey, it is what it is. But if you're a black devil, it is what it is also.
Right.
There's evil and wickedness amongst all people. You know what I mean? Now, everybody don't have the same history of being evil. We know that according to history in the Bible, but come on, violence is violence. Going overboard is going overboard no matter who does it.
Right.
Keep reading.
Come on. The situation is being studied in its entirety, but the reason these incidents are happening is because the radical left is threatening, assaulting, and targeting our law enforcement officers and ICE agents on a daily basis. They are just trying to do the job of making America safe. We need to stand by and protect our law enforcement officers from this radical left movement of violence and hate. President Donald J. Trump.
So Trump is he trying to campaign for another term by branding, the radical left, calling them the problem, saying that these officers, these ICE agents, are trying to make America safer. Putting 3 bullets in somebody's face don't sound like you're trying to make America safer. That don't sound like safety to me. What about you, Abba? I thought the idea of having some authority in being a civil servant, you were given the power, or you were given the understanding, or you should have the wisdom to de-escalate a situation. Right. You would think that somebody in a position like that could de-escalate a situation, take a situation that's up here and bring it down here. But they over-escalate. They extremely execute people. That was an execution. Right. You understand? That was a murder, basically. And now what you're going to see white people. You might just see a civil war from this type of stuff. You're going to see white people committing acts of violence against other white people because that was a white ICE agent and a white woman. That had nothing to do with brown people. Right. Nothing to do with Hispanics, Venezuelans, nothing to do with black people. That was white on white crime. Right. That was something that white America has always been prone to. Is criminality. You know what I'm saying? That has been the inception of America, to take lives, and the person that has the biggest gun wins. The person that has the biggest arsenal wins and has the last say so. You understand? Now, we're going to see what happens, but if you could give me let me see. John 17:12. We're going to, so as time go on, people, you see what Donald Trump said. Donald Trump does not give a, Donald Trump just went and took a president out of his own country. Donald Trump don't care. Donald Trump, I think Donald Trump didn't even show any feeling when Charlie Kirk got popped, but he said he was a good friend of his. Donald Trump could care less about what's going on the streets of America and what ICE is doing to people. You know what I mean? That statement right there just shows you how cold and heartless this nation is. And as things like this keep happening, it's going to be revealed to Black and Hispanic and Native Indian people and the world who the white man really is. In the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, we know who the white man is. And since 1969, we've been telling you that he is your adversary. I had just played a video yesterday, went over a video yesterday where you had the Southern General of the United States a few years ago, it's a white woman, talking about all of the rich resources that are in the land of the South America. They call it the lithium triangle, where it is rich in natural resources. 30% of the fresh water comes from the Amazon River. Venezuela is rich in oil, sweet crude oil, precious stones, gold, like all of this stuff. And they've been having their eyes set on this area for a very long time. Right. You know what I mean? And so you're going to see what these people are really all about. They're about pillaging and plundering, just like their ancestors. Go ahead, Doc.
All right, so like, if I may, I'll go when you finish. So
no, I was done.
Oh, I was gonna say you kind of got to give it to Trump on how good he is at diverting attention away from them files.
Oh yeah,
like he's so good at it. It's like always something coming up, and he's saying something that he's is going to aggravate the people. That's going to draw their attention away from his files. So you kind of got to give it to him because he is excellent at diverting the attention away from the files.
And this is something they know about people as a whole. And I guess you could call it social engineering, is that they know how people are going to emotionally react to things on a mass scale.
Right.
So many people believe what they see in the news anyway. It doesn't matter if it's true or not. Many people are going to believe it. And the United States government knows this. They know that 1 minute your mind is on one thing and the next minute your mind is on something else. Right. 1 minute it's P. Diddy. The next minute it's Palestinians, insurgents, and terrorists, and the next minute it's Venezuela is smuggling drugs, and we have to stop that. You know what I mean? So they know what they are doing when it comes to the masses and how stupid the masses can be in believing the things that come out on these news programs. You know what I mean? If you could, let me hear that.
17 and 12.
Yes.
The book of John, chapter 17, verse 12. While I was with them in the world, I kept them in thy name.
Let me see. Is it getting down to it? I want the son of perdition. I believe it is. Yeah, it starts early. Yeah.
Those that thou gavest me, I have kept, and none of them is lost, but the son of perdition, that the scripture might be fulfilled.
I'm sorry.
We'll start from the top.
No, I think Second Thessalonians 2 and 3. Salakia on that. So what's going to happen is, as more of these things happen and more of the evil is shown, and people start to recognize what America really is, because all of these nations really are just, big gangsters. That's all they really are. They pillage, they lie, they steal, they cheat, they assassinate. I remember one time, when I was locked down, I came across a book, and I wish I could find the book. I had trouble trying to find this book again, but it was a life story of I can't remember if he was a Navy SEAL or he was more like a Delta Force soldier. And this is his story that he's telling. And it was for the first time I realized that it opened me up to what the real world is. The real world, the United States is sending out teams to go assassinate people, to assassinate up and coming leaders, heads of states in different countries, to get the desired effect that they want, to be able to, benefit America in their best interest. These things are things that you would think only happen on movies, but United States government and these other governments with their clandestine secret services and CIAs and those type of organizations that move in the shadows, they are orchestrating these type of acts. Okay. Now, I believe if it was Hugo Chavez, the leader before Maduro, the one that in Venezuela, is there was an attempt on his life with drones. If I remember correctly, it was some type of it was having some type of thing outside, and a drone exploded, but it didn't get close to him. And they traced it back to the CIA. And of course, the CIA America denied any involvement. But these type of undercover operations happen also. So, as time goes on, what you're starting to see is just people are just fighting for power. And the real thing is fighting for the resources and the riches that come from the earth. Okay, go ahead.
The book of 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first.
So the day won't come, the day of Christ's return won't come until there is a falling away first.
Right.
So people, particularly his people, will have to see who their true adversary is. And I'm sorry, that's what got me talking about. Excuse me. That's what got me talking about that commander that was talking about all of the resources, right? She also spoke about United States adversaries, Russia and China. Said China gets 30% of their food from that region, from that South America region, Chile, Bolivia, Colombia, Venezuela. And so she made sure to call them their adversaries. The problem with Black and brown people, particularly, not particularly, but especially in America, you don't know who your adversary is. Okay? We think our adversary or our enemy is somebody that looks just like us, simply because we don't agree on something, or we are from a different part of the world or part of town, or we live in this part of the city or that part of the city, or we wear this clothing, or whatever the case may be. You are very short-sighted on what an enemy and an adversary is.
Right.
United States is not short-sighted on who their adversaries is. It's a whole nother nation of people. Russia, China, their adversaries. According to the Bible, God's people have enemies. They have adversaries.
Right.
And we'll get to that. If you could, Jeremiah, give me Luke chapter 1 and 81 and hold it. Luke chapter 1 and 81 and hold it. Go ahead, Abad.
And that the man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition.
And that the man of sin be revealed. Christ is not going to return in the glory that is spoken of in the scriptures unless there's a falling away first. A falling away meaning you're going to have to understand who your adversary is.
Right.
You're going to have to realize that white people are who they are.
Right.
It is what it is. They have shown you who they are. And you're going to have to get to the point where you can't take a small crumb from your oppressor and then forgive all of the evil that is done to your people on a daily basis.
Right.
A United States government doesn't forgive the evil that is done to their people. When that happened, World Trade Tower happened, that was 3,500 people?
Right.
United States government went and got justice, and they went and got and avenged themselves and got blood and went into a country for like 20 plus years and literally destabilized the country. They didn't say because one Iraqi, one person from Afghanistan was nice to them or sent gifts to the president, that they're going to forget about all of the evil that happened to them by this country.
Right.
They didn't let it go. And you shouldn't either. We should remember what has happened to our ancestors. We should remember the days of old. We should and still look at what's going on in current times.
Right.
Like it's not like what happened in the days of old in the past has stopped happening. You know, they still finding black men hung from trees in the South.
Right.
To this day. And every time they find a black man hanging from a tree, it's a cover up. They say, "Oh, he unalived himself."
Right.
Trey Reed, they just had Trey Reed found hanging in the chief concourse of Delta State University, and there's no camera footage. They're waiting to do an investigation. That was damn near 2 months ago, and ain't been no word about it.
Right.
Javion McGee, found at the base of a tree with rope around his neck. He was on a camera in Walmart buying the rope to secure his load. He was a box truck driver from Chicago in North Carolina in a town that had a history of being a sundown town.
Right.
They said he did it to himself. Black people are still being hung right now. There's another brother more recently that was just found hanging from a tree. The things that happened in the past are still happening to you. You know how many Native American Indian women come up missing every year?
Right.
On a reservation that's supposed to be protected, and certain people can't be even on the land. You got to get permission to even come on the land. You know what I mean? So the things that we say, "Oh, that was a long time ago," they're still happening to you.
Right.
And you got to look at the people that are doing it to you, the people that don't care, the people. Look how they treat their own people. Go look at one of them stories with this woman that just got shot today. They saying that she should have complied. You know, the same thing they say about black people when they shoot a black man in the back. They don't even care about their own people. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so, like, if you was gonna say something,
Nah, I'll always see this.
I'm done. But go ahead and say it, and then I want you to read it from the top.
Okay, so like, are you familiar with have you ever seen like the videos where the soldiers that served in Iraq are like they're regretting their decision to go to Iraq, so they're like apologizing to them? Have you ever seen those videos?
Mm-mm.
I came across this video and it struck it.
Where the soldiers are regretting?
Yeah, they're like the people who went and fought in Iraq. They're apologizing to the people in Iraq.
In Iraq,
but
why they're out there?
No, they're back in America.
Oh,
they're
okay.
Like a public service announcement.
Oh, okay.
But what came to my head was like, y'all gonna apologize to people thousands of miles away for 20 years, but you can't apologize to the people that still live right next to you for 400 years. Mm-hmm. So it just shows you how ignorant or how hypocritical they are to their own doctrine and how they work.
Right.
And they're gonna apologize to these people, but they can't apologize to the blacks and the Hispanics for what they do currently today.
There's a video right now, and I think I'm gonna get it. There's a video right now with a white pastor saying he don't believe black people could be saved. So even with Christianity, they are hypocrites, because the Christianity that white people gave to black people on the plantation, that one that says that Jesus loves everyone, and if we're all brothers in Christ. Well, by that same religion, they have segregated churches. Right. By that same religion, the Ku Klux Klan are Christian. By that same religion, you have white nationalists, which Charlie Kirk was. So by nature, if you look at a people, the greatest thing about them morally would be what they believe in, their higher power. Right. And by nature, you look at the white man and his Christianity, he is a hypocrite. You understand? Because Abba just brought it out. They will apologize to Iranian and Iraqi people thousands of miles away, but won't make formal public apologies to black people for the crimes that their ancestors have did to them.
Right.
That is the definition of a hypocrite.
Right.
Right. Read it from the top. I'm sorry.
The book of 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
Let no man deceive you by any means, for that the day shall not come except there come a falling away first.
So the day of Christ is not coming unless you black and brown people get it in your spirit, get it in your mind, and understand who God is and understand who your enemy is. Until you recognize who your enemy is and stop thinking that your enemy is someone that looks like you, that day will never come. You got to get the Christianity out of you.
Right.
The Lord ain't Christian. I'm sorry. The Lord ain't Christian. The Lord ain't all about love. You got to get that. You got to totally reprogram your brain.
Right.
Lose your childish thoughts. I'm sorry. Lose what you used to think and become a child again that doesn't know anything.
Right.
And be honest and real with yourself and say, if there is anybody on the planet Earth that is a devil, it is these people. And we need to get away from these people. That's how we'll be safe. You know, I was thinking about, there's a few stories, right? And I'm gonna bring them out on Black Authentic Truth. There's a story with it was a white man that was kind of like an administrator of for ICE. Like he was an administrator, and he was they found text or messages or something like that, and he was basically saying how much he hate black people. You know what I mean? And I thought about what happened today with the white woman being shot 3 times in the face by ICE agents. And I said, I wonder what white officers are saying about this story. They're probably saying, I would have shot her too. You know what I mean? Then you think about what they say about black and brown people. There's a story of an officer out of Fresno, San Jose, where there was a brother. Some of y'all probably know this story. It's an older story, but recently the brother got a settlement. The brother was in there with somebody else. 2 other people came in there. It was an altercation. Somebody put out the gun. This brother, he was able to, disarm the assailant, and he took the clip out of the gun. They're in a restaurant. He's coming out. Nobody in the restaurant called the police. Nobody knew the police was outside. This brother is walking backwards out of the door. The police happened to be out there hollering at him, telling him to put the gun down. He didn't hear him, and they shot him a few times. Now, this brother, I think he went to play for like Alabama State or something. He's a football player, like 6'3", 200-something pounds. You know, he survived, right? And then now he's got a settlement, like an $8 million settlement. Later on, they found I guess the police chief going through some messages. The same officer that shot him spoke about how much he hated black people. So I thought about this. I said, how can we be protected? How can you feel safe or respected by law enforcement where you don't even know if they hate you or not? And these are people that are supposed to be civil servants and professionals. Meanwhile, you find out how much they hate black people, but they patrol your neighborhoods. How could we be safe from something like that?
Right.
That's the question. How could we be safe from that? Because as a leader and as a priest and prophet of the Lord, I'm thinking about how can we be safe? How can we be out of harm's way? How can we what if we're going through something or have a situation and we need their help? The answer to that is for us to understand that they are the devil that the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
Number one. And number two, separate in the best way that we can.
Right.
And the first way we can separate is to stop living the culture of America, to stop wanting to aspire to do the things that we think that we will be praised in this place for, and live a life that we will make God pleased.
Right.
We'll make the Most High pleased at our actions and how we live. Like we're the children of Israel. We don't have to worry about the things And I'm gonna get into that. We don't have to, worry about sustenance, food, shelter, and clothing. That would not never be a problem. Right. It's not a problem now in our wickedness and in our ignorance of not knowing who we are and doing all of the things that we do. The only time you see black and brown people on the streets is either because they have a mental illness or they're on drugs. Right. We never really have to be on the streets. You get what I'm saying? You could always find a relative or someone that will help you out. Even a friend will help you out to get on your feet. But you have to understand who you're dealing with. And until you understand that, there's no reason for Christ to return, because if Christ returned, you would still love your oppressor. And you would say Christ is out of his damn mind for calling them the devil. You would be against Christ. So you have to fall away from America. You have to fall away from Donald Trump. You have to fall away from loving this place. Keep reading our Bible. It's like talking a lot.
And that the man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God.
We're talking about the son of perdition. This man opposes and exalts himself above everything that is called God. Everything that is righteous, he does something against it.
Right.
The Lord said it is righteous for a man to be with a woman and vice versa. He says, no, it's a beautiful thing for a man to be with another man.
Right.
That's love. It's a beautiful thing for a married male couple to adopt a child. That's a loving home. He says it's a legal thing. It's a good thing to take a man who rightfully is in his home, murder him, and then steal his land and steal his possessions. That's what they did in Manifest Destiny.
Right.
He opposes everything. He is against everything that is righteous and godly. This is the same man that talks about God, but he has segregated churches. A preacher of Jesus Christ says that black people can't be saved. He doesn't know. We know he don't know the goddamn Bible. But he opposes everything that is called God. Why holding the book of God? Why holding the Bible? He is preaching a sermon that is against the Bible. And in turn, that same theology and doctrine, black Christian pastors have taken that doctrine and pushed it further into wickedness.
Right.
Like Jamal Bryant. He got his wife out there looking like a $2 hoe, like the other pastor said. Why would you want to present your woman in public like that?
Right.
Why would you want to give the impression that you are naked? This makes me think of the time I seen the video with the sister Sherazad Ali. She's an older Muslim woman, right? And she was saying that a woman's mental state doesn't go past 14 years old. A lot of them, not all of them, but don't go past 14 years old emotionally, because unless they get new information. And you see grown women like Jamal Bryant's wife that wanted to wear a see-through dress and decided to put on a sheer, tight suit that was the same color of her skin, to say she's not actually naked under there, but to any man, she would appear naked.
Right.
That's like a 14-year-old. And then you being a woman's husband, you're like a pimp. Why do you want to put your wife out there for men to be looking at her and fantasizing about her and stuff like that? That's what's in the Christian church that came from white people, that gave them that theology on the plantation. Abadi, you could turn that air down, please. So you would have to, in order for Christ to return, you're going to have to realize that your oppressor, the devil, the white man, is who he is. You have to admit that to yourself.
Right.
I mean, the proof is all laid out before you. The history is all laid out before you. The current events that are happening right now in 2026 is laid out right before you. There is only one group of people that opposes everything the Most High says.
Right.
Went even further and painted the images of the black angels, of the prophets, of Christ, and painted Christ as a white man. That's against the Lord. I mean, that's someone that opposes God, that wants to sit in the seat of God and be looked at as God. And that's what Donald Trump wants. He wants to be praised like a king. He wants world domination. And that is the spirit of America and its leaders, is world domination.
Right.
Stealing all of the resources, taking everything and gobbling up every stench of land. That is it. That's all. Give me what I asked for, Luke. Let me get Luke 1 and this is a salvation precept, but this goes back to understanding that we have enemies, okay? And not that dumb crap that they talk about in the Christian church about what your enemy is. Black people, you so damn silly and dumb thinking somebody like, in the same church you going to, that's your enemy. And the Lord gonna prepare a table in the presence of my enemies. Y'all so silly in that place. You need to get up out of that damn Christian church. Go ahead, Doc.
Is it Luke 81?
1 and 81. Now this is talking about what we just went over, that you're gonna have to know who your adversary is. Americans know who their adversary is. They know China is the adversary. They know, Iran, people from Iran is the adversary. They know who the adversaries are. You don't know who your adversary is. You got your adversary. You got your black and brown people. You got your adversary mixed up. You think your adversary is your friend, and you think your brother and your sister is your adversary. Mm-hmm. What is it? What is it? 79? Wait, let me see. 1 and 71? Is it 1 and 71?
That we should be saved from our enemies.
Yeah, read it from the yeah. That was my bad.
This is Luke 1 and 71.
Mm-hmm.
That we should save from our enemies and from our hands from all that hate us.
We should be saved from who?
Our enemies.
We should be saved from our enemies and all those who?
That hate us.
That hate us. You understand? When Jesus Christ was born, they knew that this was the Messiah that would save them from their enemies. Their enemies wasn't other Israelites. Their enemies was the Romans. They're a whole nother nation.
Right.
And all those who hate us.
Right.
Black and brown people. Your enemy is not your own people. It's the people who have hated you.
Right.
It's the nation who have hated you. You're not an American. Black and brown people. You're not an American. You are a Israelite born in here, brought in here in a strange land that your forefathers have not ever known. That's what you are. And you are living up under your enemy, the Edomites, right, the so-called white man, just like your forefathers were living up under Edomites,
right,
in Roman times after the destruction of Jerusalem in 70 AD. Okay? That's what Christ came for. On the flip side, this is twofold. On the flip side, that's what salvation is.
right.
Salvation ain't something that is right now. Like in the Christian church, they be like, What year did you get saved? I got saved in 82. I got saved in 2005. I've been saved for 40 years. Nigga in a strip club. Nigga somewhere smoking crack. Then you went to jail for smoking crack 5 years ago. You was in prison for selling dope. You was saved. I got saved. I got saved in a biker gang. Go ahead.
That's a skit. So I like it.
It's a skit. Yeah, it's a skit. We're gonna do that skit too. We can do it for a Passover skit. Well, when did you get saved? I got saved. I got saved in 2011, but I backslid in 2013, and I got saved again. Got baptized. That's Christian talk. You know what I'm saying? The Bible. Read that again. Saved from what? What do you say? You saved from a crack addiction?
That we should be saved from our enemies.
Salvation is being saved from something. Let me ask you this. Who are the people that need to be saved the most? Is it white people? Is it Russians? Is it Chinese people? Is it Ghanaians, Nigerians, Sinhalese? Is it Venezuelans? Is it Mexicans? Is it Black Americans? I would say Black and brown people need to be saved the most. Black and brown people by far have the most haters on planet Earth.
Right.
The most enemies on planet Earth. We got the most people that smile in our face but want us to fail.
Right.
On planet Earth. Read it from the top again.
That we should be saved from our enemies.
That we should be saved from our enemies. Now, you dumb Christian, Black Christian and Hispanic Christians, y'all say, well, my enemies is, Sister Johnson on the usher board. She won't let me usher that. She my adversary. She my enemy. No, dumb. That is not your enemy. That's your people. Or in the streets, you say, yeah, that nigga, that's my enemigo. That's my enemy right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't get along. When I see him, it's on sight. That is not your enemy.
Right.
That's your brother. And the only way that we can get out of oppression will be us having brotherhood and us putting away and putting aside petty differences.
Right.
And seeing who is the real enemy. You see, Black and brown people have been beat down so much, and you have been destroyed so much by your oppressor that it is easier in your mind to hate yourself,
Right.
to hate your own people, to take out your aggression on your own people. Now, Captain Tazariak had brought up something, and he brings it out a lot of times. It's about the doll test. Is it the doll test? What is the test? What is the test? No. It's the what is it? What is it? When the teenagers went to school, the all-white school, the first time, Little Rock Nine. Well, one of the girls in the Little Rock Nine, she was being interviewed, and she said that affected her, like the way she would get treated at the school by white people. How it affected her is because she couldn't do nothing or retaliate at school, she would come home and beat up her little brother. She would be real evil to her little brother. She said that. That's what happened with Black and brown people.
Right.
Because you've been so destroyed by white people and the violence that white people committed against you, now you take it out on yourself.
Right.
You let the steam out on yourself. You're not going to let it out on them. You won't say it to them, but you'll say it to your brothers and sisters. You'll say it to people that look just like you. You'll do it to the people that's in your own household. That's what she was doing. It's psychological. You understand? And that's why the truth is so beautiful, because you can throw away all of that psychological stuff through the spirit of the Most High, you learning your heritage and you gaining your foundation again. You could say what the truth is and not feel anything about it. You can take the hate that you put on your people and put the blame where it's supposed to be and not give a damn about it because it's the truth. And the God of heaven and earth is with you. You understand? And you can, so when we go out and camp, we can tell the white man to his face his crimes. We can tell him to his face. The white man walks up with a nice, haircut, nice suit and tie, coming out to enjoy LA, coming out to enjoy the holiday. And we can tell him to his face his crimes and that his people are the devil that the Bible speaks of. That's and right. The blame that they put on our people needs to be redirected at them for the crimes of the past and the crimes they have done to destroy us and the things that they're still doing to destroy us. You understand? Right. So we're done with that. So that's what salvation is, being saved from your enemies, being in harm's way like the Israelites were under the Romans, and being saved not just in a way like you're in harm's way, but you're a lost sheep led to the slaughter. Like black and brown people right now are lost sheep. Why? Because you think it's okay to live a life that is going to get you hurt, going to get you killed. Without the truth of who you are, you're going to live a life where you're going to make a lot of silly, stupid, dumb decisions. Right. Even in the Christian church, where you're supposed to be learning how to live, okay? You're supposed to be learning how to make good decisions. You're supposed to be learning how to fight temptation. You're supposed to be learning these things in the Christian church, but I don't see them happening, right. Okay? You're supposed to be learning how to not put your hands on your significant other. A pastor just got smoked in his own house by his own wife. He was beating his own wife. The first lady shot him in front of their children. That's what happens in the Christian church. Right. That's what happens in the Christian church. You go inside the Christian church and you got black women that are dressed just like some black women at the club. Like a $2 hoe showing you everything and left nothing to the imagination. Why? Because you don't learn anything in there. And the Christian church is a reflection of America. That's it. It's a reflection of what's going on inside the Christian church is a reflection of what's going on outside the Christian church. Right. That's it. There's no change. There's no renewal of your mind. There's none of that. It's all lip service and talk. And you see it every day. Next week, there'll be a new story that happened in a black Christian church, something that you say, well, damn, what's the difference from being up in there than being out in the world? Right. I know a nigga that was beating his wife and she shot him in the world. Now I'm hearing about a pastor that was beating his wife, but they were smiling in all the pictures on all the Facebook posts until the morning the authorities had to come and put his body in a body bag, found out he was beating the hell out of the first lady. And she took matters into her own hands and unalived him. Yeah. Now, if we could, I want to get, I'm going to play this video with, how is it? It's got a little bit of latency. Yes, a little bit. Yeah, I'm just going to play. So iShowSpeed has been going around before I get into this topic, right? iShowSpeed has been going around like touring Africa. And I want to play this video. I think it's something good to break down, okay? So let me remove this.
You want to give me some cows? Yeah. So propose and then while you come with your family, then we negotiate. How many cows do I have to give you so I can marry her? 17. 17 cows?
So just a backstory. This is iShowSpeed. He's in some village in Africa. And he walks up on a girl and he's like, where's your father at? Father comes and he's like, I can marry your daughter. And the father is like, yeah. He's like, how much would it cost to marry your daughter? He said 17 cows. He said, you get your family and then we'll negotiate. Okay. Let me keep going.
Yes. How much is 17 cows?
Yeah, 20 cows for
5 grand. Ted, this is insane. 6.5. I'm gonna be in contact with them cows, okay? You are welcome.
So, first of all, what I want to say about this, I'm going to get into the biblical aspect. So a lot of people are praising ISO Speed, black people, because he's touring Africa and showing parts of Africa that are not like how people think, that are, you know, beautiful, that looks nice. It ain't like, you know, bush meat and mud huts. You know, you have some Africans out there that's eating bush meat, eating monkey brain and all that crap, right? And so first thing first is, black people, you're not African. We were sold by Africans. Right here is a good example of not everybody that is black is the same. You understand what I'm saying? And the problem with black people, black Americans that came on the transatlantic slave trade from West Africa, is that we believe wholeheartedly in Pan-Africanism and colorism. We say, okay, we came here, it's the motherland. These are our brothers and sisters. Where Africans don't look at you like that.
Right.
They look at you as an opportunity, a black American. Case in point, the return to Ghana in 2019, where they're saying, come back home, come to Ghana, black Americans. You had a lot of celebrities going out there to Almina Slave Castle, and, you know, tours and all of that. And later on, about 2-3 years after this craze, they admitted that the return to Ghana was to stimulate their economy. They was trying to bring in money from black Americans into the economy to stimulate the economy. Also, what you have to understand is, this is something I know, is that you could go research this yourself. A lot of black women that went over there, bought homes and stuff, got unalived. They took the homes. There are black men that went over there and bought property on tribal land. They took the money, then later on they came and took the land back. And so black people, black Americans that go to Africa are looked at as an opportunity, just like in the transatlantic slave trade, when African tribal leaders sold Israelites to Europeans. They seen our people as an opportunity to get rich, and many of them got rich. You can go look up on YouTube yourself the apology from a Ghana tribal leader for the role of his people in selling black Americans in the transatlantic slave trade. Nothing I'm saying is untrue. It can all be verified and it's factual.
Right.
When it comes to the Bible, everybody in the Bible that you're reading in those different nations were black people. The Arab, the Ishmaelites were as dark skinned as any black person. Over time, they mixed with Edomites and became a lighter shade of brown. The same way that a lot of Israelites and South American Indian tribes were mixed with Spanish tribes. I mean, I'm not tribes, but European colonizers, Spanish colonizers, conquistadors. Okay, so I don't want to go too long on this. That's number one. Now, number two, what is happening right here is actually biblical. And this is something that will keep black people from having broken homes. Okay. Leonard says she looked like a teenager. Definitely. This is something that would keep black people from having single parent households and broken homes if we turn back to our culture, which is when you meet a woman and you want that woman, you talk to her father. Her father then talks to your father and they make a deal. And her father says there's a dowry that needs to be paid. In this case, it's 17 cows. Don't look at it like it ain't a lot, because in ancient times, real wealth was how much livestock you had.
Right.
So you might have cows, lambs, you know, all of that. And you they say you was waxing fat, meaning you living large.
Right.
Because you got something to trade for. That's wealth. How much a horse costs today, Abad? Do you know? I'm just saying, like, you know, livestock is wealth, especially even in this time, right? I think a horse can go anywhere from like 3 to 30, 35,000. Go ahead.
So like a good one, a good beginner horse is $1,000 to $10,000.
A beginner horse is $1,000 to $10,000. That's a car. You can get a decent car with $10,000. You know what I mean? Me, I take that 10,000, buy me something for about 3,500. Do a little oil change, fix it up. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying though. But this is how it would be. You look at the destruction of the black family, and you look at black women that done been with multiple partners. You look at black men that are not with the woman they laid down, but had children with them. And now they're with another woman creating another family because they couldn't rectify their differences. It's because they didn't get a chance to know each other. They was too hot in the ass, excuse my language, to actually have a union that would last forever. And so this way it protects the daughter, it protects the son from having sex, because once that agreement is made, then there's a courtship. And a courtship, some people might call it dating today. They get it confused, but dating is not courtship. A courtship is you're just getting to know the girl. You're not, having sex and doing all of those things, because we know, according to the Bible, sex is marriage. The definition of something being consecrated is sex. So, and sex would bring that union together. You get what I'm saying? But he would negotiate with his father, would talk with the father. The father will say, this is the price. Well, first they'll say this. They'll come together. Hey, my son is interested in your daughter. Okay, well, they can court. And they'll court for 6 months to a year. In that period, without no sex, you can figure out, can I deal with this man for the rest of my life? Can I deal with this woman for the rest of my life? You get to learn a person. And so you're not having sex, so you don't make the mistake of being linked emotionally and all that to a person, like people do now in the world we live in today. People lay down with each other like they testing out cars, like they going for a test drive. That's how it happens in the world. And that's where you get single parent homes from. Because after you lay down with a woman and she says she's pregnant, you say, well, I don't want the baby, or I can't deal with this woman, or I can't deal with him, because you never even knew each other. You both was hot in the ass, so you never got a chance to know each other. I'm not saying that this is what Speed is doing, but how this African father is conducting the business and he's saying, get your family and then we can negotiate. That is dignified. Right. That's a dignified union. That's how he's like, I'm not just going to give my daughter away to some nigga that's just going to destroy her, have sex with her and throw her away. I want her to, go into the union. I want her to be set up in the foundation. Now, another thing about that, the dowry, is because this daughter is valuable. This daughter is his possession. This daughter came from him. He raised her up, and she's obviously helping out in the family, whatever her job may be. Now, when she leaves away with a husband, that's going to be something that's taken away from the father. And so that's what that dowry is for. You know what I mean? Now, I know you in your dumbass mind can't, excuse my language, and you can't understand it because you are westernized, but this is the old world. In the old world, it ain't no baby mamas. In the old world, ain't no baby daddies. In the old way, in the biblical way of doing it, it ain't no broken homes. Can you imagine how overnight, if we start living this way, if you seen a woman, you say, I want her, and somebody, you can't just go holler at her and get in bed with her. You got to meet her father, and her father got to meet your father. Right. Ooh, that would change what our families look like in the next 10 years. Right. You see some wholesome families after that. Oh, you see them in the ISUPK under Commander Junior Hanna. Right. I pray you understand. Okay. Let's see. So that's that. I'm gonna drop it. I wanted to bring that out. So go ahead, Abad.
Like, if I may, I wonder where they got that tradition from.
Oh, we know where the tradition came from. It's a biblical tradition.
Right.
And Jews were all over Africa. In fact, I'm going to be doing a lecture where I'm going to show how Black people are Jews, coming from Jerusalem through Africa to West Africa to America, West Indies, and such. Now let's talk about the Lord does not care about the things that you care about. The things that you care about. If you could give me James 4:3. This is you got to reprogram yourself from the Christianity and thinking that everything is about you. Christianity has people think, well, it makes people think, or it trains people to think in a selfish way that is about their heart's desires. Your heart's desires, what you want. It's all about me, 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 me. And it's like God is your own personal genie. Okay. If you could.
Come on, the book of James, chapter 4, verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
Ye ask and receive not, because ye ask amiss.
You ask and you receive not. Many people ask for things. Many people, say they want things and, get down on their knees and ask God for things, but they ask amiss. What does that mean? Anybody? Let me wait. I'm gonna see if anybody in the comments. No. Go ahead.
I want to say
Leonard said selfishly.
Material things.
Yeah, I will tell. Yeah. You ask amiss. You ask something. You ask for something that's not appropriate. And what I mean by that is, like Leonard said, selfishly. Halak said, I was asking, what does ask amiss? What does that mean when you ask for something amiss? When people pray, they pray amiss. They ask the Lord for things. What you say again, Jeremiah?
Material things.
Material things, selfishly. You ask for things that the Lord, he don't even give a damn about. Think about what people ask for. What are some of the things that people ask God for? Just off the top of your head that are things that you've seen, like you've seen people on social media say what they pray for and they ask for. Or when they get something, they give the praise to God as though they've been praying for this thing. What are some of those things?
$1 million.
$1 million. Okay. Go ahead. How about
New car?
A new car. That's a big one.
A relationship.
That's that. Yeah. Halak. Yeah. Vanity. Yep. Yeah, you got some brothers that ask for a white woman and a good job and an education. You know, the funny thing about a lot of these things, right? You don't have to believe in God to get them. Right. Now, I ain't saying $1 million, but when it comes to a car, when it comes to a woman, when it comes to a good job, when it comes to your education, I've heard you've heard this. You heard Christians pray about. They pray about, Lord, let us win this championship game. We're gonna win let us win this NFL championship. You know, they pray about stuff that you like. The Lord don't care about that. Right. He don't care if you win the semifinal championship. The Lord, what does he have to do with that? What does he have to do with your education? Like, these things you can get if you just work hard at it. There's people in the world that don't believe in God and get these things just from simply working hard and being diligent at a specific thing. You know what I mean? So we ask amiss. Let me read it from the top again.
The book of James, chapter 4, verse 3. Ye ask and receive not,
Mhm.
because ye ask amiss,
Uh-huh.
that ye may consume it upon your lust.
Say it again.
That ye may consume it upon your lust.
So that you can consume it upon your lust. Let me just help you Christians out. Lust don't mean sexual.
Right.
You can have a lust for anything. Lust is, a lot of people lust for money. They lust for attention on social media. You know what I mean? You lust for the things. What does the scripture say about the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes? I forget. I'm paraphrasing. It's the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eye. Okay, we know what I'm talking about. All right, we're gonna leave it at that. Okay, but you lust for these things to consume these things. These are all vanity. They're all superficial. They're all material. They are not what the Lord requires of you. They have nothing to do with what God requires of you. What it says in the first book of Joshua 1:8, that if you meditate on the law of the Lord day and night, then you would have good success.
Right.
You know what I mean? This is how you should pray. Let's get it. Let's get Matthew. These are the things you should ask for. Okay. And what did I say earlier? I said this. Let's talk about the basic necessities of life. The basic necessities of life are things that the Lord gives us anyway, that we don't have to worry about.
Right.
Like you got people that you got Israelites, Black, Hispanic, and brown people that not in their right train of thought that are taken care of, that have a meal every day. You got Black and brown people that can't produce as much. They might be, disabled or anything, or not physically able to go out and work a 9 to 5. There's so many different situations with us, but the only time you really see Black and brown people on the streets, and while I'm using Black and brown, think about this. This is the white man's kingdom. So when you see a white homeless person, they down really bad. I mean, they down bad because this is their kingdom where they could get a foot up if they just put their best foot forward faster than a brown or Black person could. And I've never, to be honest with you, the only time I ever seen Mexicans out here in California, Southern California, only time I really seen Mexicans on the streets is when they tweaking, when they own drugs. The ones that are on the streets in their right mind, they hustling. They selling fruit. It's good fruit. They selling fruit cups, selling tacos, burritos. They hustling, they grinding, they selling flowers. They making a way. When I see white people, they begging. When I see Black people, Black people tend to be begging too, but I've seen Black people working too. I've seen Black men playing a guitar for money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? In this kingdom, when white people are on the streets, they done messed up their white privilege. What's the word? They done you know what I mean? It's almost like it's no excuse. It's like because you got a backing that other people don't got. But when I see Black and brown people on the streets, it's either you got a mental illness or you own drugs. Other than that, you're well taken care of. You got somewhere to go. You got somebody to lean on. And that's because of the Lord. There's a scripture. Let me see if I can get it. Go ahead, Ibot.
Well, if I may, perfect example is the sister that we see out here. Every time we see her, she's, yelling and talking to herself, but she always got clean clothes on. You know what I'm saying? She'll never look like she's strung out on nothing. She just got her mental problems.
Right. Give me Psalms 37 and 25.
Come on.
Just kind of hit home on what I'm talking about. Psalms
37:25.
37:25. Con.
Come. The book of Psalms, chapter 37, verse 25.
Mm-hmm.
I have been young and now am old, yet have I not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread.
Mm-hmm.
He is ever merciful and lendeth, and his seed is blessed. Depart from evil and do good,
Mm-hmm.
and dwell forevermore.
What the key? What I want is, I've never seen the righteous forsaken
Right.
or begging for bread. You know what I'm saying? The righteous is God's chosen people, the Israelites, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And anytime you see us on the streets like that, it's either because we have a bad drug addiction problem or it's mental illness. And you know how this world, you know how America deals with mental illness. They just throw you to the wolves and throw you to the streets. After a while, they get tired of dealing with you coming in and out, and they'll put you just out on the street. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yes, Leonard, that's the one I was talking about that I was paraphrasing. 1 John 2:16, the lust of the eyes and the pride of life. Yeah, so the lust of the eyes and the pride of life. This is I'm gonna read it. 1 John 2:16. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. Going back to Jamal Bryant and his wife in her flesh-colored dress.
Right.
That is the lust of the world, the lust of the flesh and the pride to be seen. You can still be beautiful without showing your body,
Right.
and or in this case, giving the illusion that you're naked when you're not. Why would you want to do that as a woman that is supposed to be a woman of God? It doesn't make any damn sense other than you, your husband, are like the world. The Bible says not to be like the world.
Right.
It says to be opposite of the world. So your wife is, as a first lady of a church, and we know the church does not have the truth, and she has women that are looking up to her that probably go to her as the first woman of the church for guidance and all of that crap. Meanwhile, she's wearing a dress that Cardi B would wear.
Right.
She's wearing a dress that Megan Thee Stallion would wear. What is the difference between you and the people in the world? None. Where we at? What's the last? That was that, and then okay. Now let's get Matthew 6,
Okay.
so we can understand what your spirit should be like. How you should come to the Lord. You should not be coming to the Lord saying like, "Damn, Lord, the new Jordan 26s is coming out. I pray that I can get them up, Lord." You know what I'm saying? I know I ain't got a job, Lord, and you know, I ain't got no income coming in, but I really want those shoes, Lord. Oh, Lord, I'm trying to go on a vacation with my bae. I'm trying to go on a vacation. I pray that we can go on this vacation. I pray I get this new car. I want this new Lexus. That's what people be praying for, though. The thing is like this, man. If you're serving the Lord, you're going to have good success. You're going to have good success anyway. You know how many times there's a job that I wanted that I didn't get, you know, that I felt like, you know, it would be a perfect dream job for me and I didn't get it. And I keep the law, statutes, and commandments. The Lord it just wasn't me. It just wasn't for me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It happens. But to ask for things that are more material, like, you know, I want this, man, I seen this ring, I seen this, I want to go here, I want to be able to travel the world. Like, the Lord don't care about that stuff.
Right.
You asking amiss. You're asking for things that the Lord is looking at you side-eye like, man, look at this nigga, man. The angel come up with the Lord, with the prayers. Lord, the angel like, I ain't gonna even hold you. I know I probably shouldn't even brought this prayer up. I ain't gonna hold you. Nah, Salakia, I was just playing. But yeah, that'd be a good skit though. Look, Lord, I ain't gonna hold you. This nigga, he asking for some crazy stuff. But here it is. Here's his prayer. Like, denied. Prayer denied. Right. Throw it over there. But let's get this. Let's get this so we can get what so Matthew 6. What I want. There's a lot in there. Yeah, let me hear it.
Okay. The book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
After this manner, therefore, pray ye, our Father, which art in heaven,
Uh-huh.
hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
Mm-hmm.
For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen.
Deliver us from temptation. You should be praying to the Lord for the kingdom to come
Right.
here on earth. You should be praying to be able to fight temptation. You should be praying for wisdom to be able to like handle situations and help other people. You should be praying, some of y'all, probably a lot of y'all, me too, for the ability to have patience
Right.
with people. You should be praying for things that have substance, that are meaningful to the Most High, not material things. Not praying that you and your team go to the conference finals. Not praying in some room, in the back room of a stripper club, talking about, Lord, please help us make this money. Those prayers are meaningless. Those are prayers that are asking the Lord amiss, and they're only for people's own lust.
Right.
Okay, keep reading.
Okay. And Salakia. Verse 14. For if ye give men
That's real low key. That's really crazy though. The strippers in the prayer circle. That's top level extreme Christianity right there. Top level extreme. Lord is with you in whatever you do. It's top level extreme Christianity as a drug dealer, praying for the Lord to protect you while you out there selling drugs, destroying other people's families. It sounds crazy, but it happens.
Right.
It's happening right now. Somebody's right now is on some block right now praying to the Lord, make sure he can get back home. Nigga like, just in case I don't make it home tonight. For real, that's happening.
Right.
Go ahead. All right. You was gonna say something?
Laws.
Okay, you can keep going.
Come, verse 14. For if you forgive men their trespasses, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. But if ye forgive men, so like if ye forgive not men their trespasses, neither will the Father forgive your trespasses.
Mm.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Come. Moreover, when ye fast, be not as the hypocrites.
Get down to the part about worrying. This is talking about hypocrite. This is talking about the Christian church. This is talking about people. Matter of fact, read that because people need to hear this.
Come.
Let me show you something. This is what y'all do. This is something that they do in the Christian church, right? This is something. This is something that they do in Christian church. This is something that they do in Islam, and this is something that they do on social media. Go ahead.
Come. Verse 14. So like verse 16. Moreover, when ye fast, be not as the hypocrites of a sad countenance, for they disfigure their faces, that they may appear unto men to fast. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward.
Right.
But thou, when thou fastest, anoint thine head and wash thy face.
So this is this is not what I thought it was talking about, but we getting there. This is talking about when you fast. You have people that fast and they want to let people know that they fast. Like about 3 months ago, we had the Day of Atonement. We went through the Day of Atonement. We fasted basically for 24 hours from sundown to sundown. And the Bible says that when you fast, don't act like, because a lot of people like myself, you still go to work or you still going to be somewhere in public. So you act as though you conduct yourself like a regular day. You get up, you wash your face, brush your teeth, you do all those things. And then when you're out, you look like you're normal.
Right.
You're not like, so somebody can say, what's wrong with you? Oh, I'm fasting. It's the Day of Atonement. Like, that's what hypocrites do. That's what, you don't do that. You know what I mean? What's the point? You want to be seen. Go ahead.
Come. Verse 18, that thou appear not unto men to fast,
Mhm.
but unto thy Father which is in secret.
Right. So you don't show people that you're fasting. They don't know what you're doing, but the Lord knows it. He knows everything. Keep going.
And thy Father which seeth in secret shall reward thee openly.
Mm-hmm.
Lay
going.
not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay up yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal.
Get to the part where it talks about vain.
Take no thought of what thou shalt eat.
No, where it talks about praying, being seen. Or did you already go over that?
Oh, I think it's before. This is verse 5.
Let me hear it one more time.
Verse 5.
This is what I'm talking about. That you see, this is Islam. This is on social media. Go ahead.
Verse 5. And when thou prayest,
Uh-huh.
thou shalt not be as the hypocrites are,
Mm-hmm.
for they love to pray standing in the synagogues
Mm-hmm.
and in the corners of the streets.
They love to pray standing in the synagogues inside some place, a church, a synagogue, standing out in the streets in public. Go ahead.
That they may be seen of men.
So they can be seen of men. Go ahead.
Verily I say unto you, they have their reward.
Uh-huh.
But thou, when thou prayest, enter into thy closet.
Now, this is talking about people that's praying to be seen, people that are praying in public. And the reason why I said Islam is because wherever they at, they will pray in public. They'll pull out that rug and they'll pray in public. When a person sees that, they think, well, wow, this person, they're righteous. They're a spiritual person because they're praying. They shouldn't be seeing you pray. Now, reason why I said on social media is because people pray on social media. They put posts. Lord, I pray this. Lord, I pray that. Pray for me. And so social media is like being in public. You're just online.
Right.
It's because these people want to be seen. They want to be seen as a spiritual person. They want to be seen as a man or woman who loves God, a man or woman that is spiritual, they're righteous. And yes, the Lord is with them because they're always thinking about God. They always got God on their mind. They're always so prayerful. They're asking for prayer online. The Bible calls these people hypocrites.
Right.
That's what they are. Skip down to worrying.
So what you mean?
Worrying about worrying. Worry not about what you're going to eat.
Okay, come on.
Yeah.
The book of verse 25. Therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life,
Mm-hmm.
what ye shall eat or what ye shall drink,
Mm-hmm.
nor yet for your body, what ye shall put on.
Now it says, take no thought for your life, what you should eat, what you should drink. What it's saying is just don't worry about these things. A lot of people worry about, they're being in situations worry about what they're going to eat, worrying about their clothes and all of that. You know what I mean? That's not don't think that's what we're saying. We just don't worry about it. I didn't think about what I was going to wear or what I want to wear, because the Lord, if you just do what you got to do, you'll be in a position to buy clothing. You'll be in a position to acquire certain things. You know what I'm saying? So it's not really that you just living life blindlessly, not worried about what you're going to eat or what you're going to wear. It's just that you know that these things will be provided for you.
Right.
And another thing I just want to say, because people get it twisted up with us in Israelite school, right, of universal practical knowledge, is this: we took an oath to God. We didn't take an oath to not get no money.
Right.
I pray you understand. Keep going.
Come on. Verse 20, Salaki. Is not the life more than meat, and the body than raiment?
Mm-hmm.
Behold, the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap,
Mm-hmm.
nor gather into barns. Yet the heavenly Father feedeth them.
Right. So they're saying that the birds don't work for what they get.
Right.
The birds don't have to work, but the Lord feeds them. Go ahead.
Come on. Salaki. Are ye not much better than they?
But aren't you much better than they, as God's chosen people? Aren't you much? You are. Okay, keep going.
Come on. Verse 27. Which of you by taking thought can add 1 cubit unto his stature? Verse 28. And why take that? And why take ye thought for raiment? Consider the lilies of the field, When they grow, they toil not, nor do they spin.
It's talking about clothing and talking about how the flowers don't work. But right before that, it talked about you can't add nothing to yourself by worrying. Stop worrying about these things you don't have any control over. Okay.
Right.
Go and stop praying about the things that are meaningless and vanity and superficial. Go ahead.
How they grow, they toil not, neither do they spin.
Mm-hmm.
And yet I say unto you that even Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these.
So they don't work in nothing, the lilies of the field, but they were more arrayed than Solomon. Solomon, and what it's talking about is how fly King Solomon was and how he dressed.
Right.
They were more arrayed than him. Go ahead.
Right. Wherefore, if God so clothed the grass of the field, which today is and tomorrow is cast into the oven, shall he not much more clothe ye, O ye of little faith?
And so that's the thing. Like, you don't have to worry or pray about things that are such basic things, right? You don't have to worry about that. You see how you don't never see people online praying or asking prayers for, Lord, I pray there is no war. Like, people don't even think about things like that. It's because when people are praying, they are praying selfishly.
Right.
They are praying with a mind state of what they want. And Christianity has taught Black and brown people to think prosperous, think in a prosperity way. Think about you deserve, I deserve this, I deserve that. And so that's why people pray that way. That's why our people think this way. Right. You know what I mean? And the Lord don't give a damn about your desires. He cares of whether or not you are keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, and you are doing what you're supposed to be doing according to what he says to do. Right. Everything else will be added on to you. You know what I mean? That's why you can pray for those things. That don't mean it's going to happen. I say it all the time. Like, in this world, you got people who are millionaires that don't even believe in God, that are atheists, that are against God. So just working hard and doing what you got to do, you can get the things that you want. You don't have to pray for them. But at the foundational base level, the Lord said, don't worry about what you're going to eat, what you're going to drink, the clothing. Don't worry about those things, because I'm going to provide those things regardless for my people. Right. That's just like entry level to being the Israelite. You know what I'm saying? What I suggest that you pray for is things that I mentioned earlier. Patience. Pray for patience with your husband and with your kids, and vice versa. Pray for wisdom as a man in leading your family and making good decisions, or being over people, like in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Pray for things of that nature. Pray to have an answer when somebody is going through it in their life and they need counsel. Pray for something like that. You know what I mean? That's more meaningful, and those prayers will mean a lot if they get answered. Okay. So with that, that's the class. Just want to thank brothers and sisters for locking in. We'll be back next Wednesday. What's next Wednesday? It's nothing going on, right?
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Okay. All right, Israel, we're about to get up out of here. Kyle Mazbaf, shout out to you. Halak, shout out to you. Shalat, shout out to you. Leonard Jr., shout out to you. Princess Asa, shout out to you. Anton One West, shout out to you, brother. Michael Love, shout out to you. All right, Israel, we're up out of here. See you next week.